Hi, I'm Heather. Welcome to class. Last week we worked on Vashistasana, and that sequence could be a really good lead up to today's sequence. Today we're going to work on Visvamitrasana. It is an arm balancing pose, just like Vashistasana is, and it can be challenging because of not just the weight bearing in one arm, but the length that's required in the hamstrings and the adductors. So we're going to work with that today. And before we begin, I invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, to like, share, comment, so that your actions contribute to YouTube's algorithm, sharing this content with other people who are searching for inspiration for their yoga practice. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. In last week's video, we did Trikonasna and Parsvakonasna repetitively to open the hips and prepare the hamstrings and the adductors for Vashistasana. That's also a really great way of preparing for Visvamitrasana. So again, you can go back and look at that video and practice with that before coming to this. However, we are going to do some variations of Trikonasna and Parsvakonasana, but a little bit differently today. If you have your chair against the wall, we'll put our sticky mat, our folded sticky mat, on the seat of the chair. Make sure the handle is right up against the wall so that the chair doesn't slip. Then if I mirror you, let's place the right heel up onto the front of the seat. So I'm not trying to put my foot flat onto the seat of the seat itself, because that can be problematic for some people if you haven't got that capacity to really plant or flex the foot. So just the heel is fine, and the toes and the ball of the foot can peel back a little bit off the seat. But we take a wide stance. So you see I'm using the majority of the mat. I've got my outer heel in line with the outer mat. And like our normal Trikonasana, you could align the right heel with the arch of the left foot. Let's take the arms out and roll the right buttock down. Just making sure you're not letting the pelvis come into an anterior tilt. Lift the front pelvic bones up as you roll the right buttock down. Inhale. Exhale. Reach out sideways to the wall as you feed this right femur bone into the pelvis, and tilt the pelvis over the femur bone. Lengthen the right waist, then place your hand to the shin. Stretch the left arm to the same diagonal line as the right arm, and squeeze the right buttock forward. Lift the navel up from the pubis. Turn to look up along the left arm to the fingertips. You feel the pressure of the seat on the heel, reinforcing this femur bone deeply into the pelvis. Then inhale, come up. Slide this left foot in a little closer to the chair so that when you bend your knee to come to Parsvakonasana, you feel that the knee's coming more towards the line of the ankle. It might not come all the way over the ankle, but we're still keeping that knee moving towards a right angle. Keep rolling the right buttock down, squeezing right buttock forward, and pressing left thigh back. Then reach out to the wall. Perhaps you can touch the wall. Can you lengthen your waist along the thigh as you feed this femur bone into the pelvis and tilt the pelvis over the femur bone? Go on lengthening the waist, and then perhaps you can bring your arm down, your hand to the seat with the arm in front of the leg. Can you bring the back of the upper arm inside the knee? Squeeze the right buttock forward. Keep your hips moving towards the seat, not up and away from the seat. Then we can take this top arm over. Create a diagonal line from outer left foot to fingertips and turn to look up. Rotate the chest up and go on squeezing the right buttock forward. Inhale, come up. And let's swap legs. We take the left heel up onto the front of the seat, and then stride the right leg a long way back to the outer edge of your mat. Align the left heel with the arch of the right foot. Do make sure your left thigh is turning out. Yeah, we don't want the thigh turning forward because then we get stuck in the hip and we can't go anywhere. Roll the outer right hip down, outer left hip, sorry, and peel the toes and the ball of the foot up off the seat So then you feel the pressure of the chair on the heel is helping to reinforce this femur bone into the pelvis, and then when we tilt, we take this pelvis over the femur bone. Let's take the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Go sideways to the wall as if you want to touch the wall. See how far away from the wall you are. Can you reach? But as you're doing that, feel the pressure of the seat on your heel, reinforcing this femur bone into the pelvis, pelvis tilting over the femur bone to create more length in this left side waist. Then hand to the shin, top arm to the same diagonal line as the bottom arm. Squeeze the left buttock forward, press the right thigh back. Then as you turn to look along the right arm, turn the right chest up. Breathe smoothly. Inhale, stand up. Then we shorten the distance. Narrow the stance so that when you bend your knee, you can then flatten the ball of the foot to the seat. Your knee's coming to a right angle. Roll the outer buttock down. Stretch the arms out. Zip the navel up. Inhale. Exhale. Now reach out to the wall. Now that requires tilting the pelvis. So you're feeding this femur bone into the pelvis, tilting the pelvis over the femur bone, lengthening the waist along the thigh as you reach to touch the wall. Try not to take the hips away from the chair. Suck this outer right hip in as you move your hips towards the seat. Then bring your arm inside the leg, in front of the leg, to place your hand on the seat. Now, if you can't reach your hand to the seat, then perhaps you could use a brick, or you can come onto your fingertips. But we are wanting to close this gap if possible. That's leading us more towards the Visvamitrasana expression. Go on squeezing the buttock forward, left buttock forward, pressing right thigh back. Turn to look up as you take your arm over. You can create that same diagonal line through the arm and the leg. Press the outer right heel and foot down as you stretch to the fingertips. And stand up, inhale, and come out of the pose. We move on to a variation of Visvamitrasana using the chair still and a bolster on the seat. You see I've got my bolster running across the seat, and we'll place a couple of bricks on the floor in front of or to the side of the leg of the chair, and you'll be able to navigate where those bricks suit you. And you see I've got them stacked, blade shape, one atop the other. Again, I'm going to mirror you. We step the right foot through so that the foot comes flat into the wall. And my suggestion is that you bring your leg closest to the handle at the front here so that it's easy to reach the arm down, perhaps to the bricks. Take a long stride. Remember that Trikonasna that we had earlier where we had the heel on the front of the seat and we took our foot to the outer mat. Do take that long stride because that's the expression of Visvamitrasana. Make sure this right thigh is turning out, so roll the outer right buttock down and straighten both legs. Then with the arms out, let's reach out to the wall first. Feed the femur bone into the pelvis, tilt the pelvis over the femur bone, bend the elbow and see if you can come down, elbow to the bolster. Now this might be enough for you, it might be very challenging. And perhaps even just having the hand on the wall is challenging enough. Maybe even just this stride is challenging enough. But if you think you can go further, then you can reach your hand down to the bricks so that this is our balancing arm. Roll the shoulders back, take your top arm up. Can you press the hips forward? Squeeze the right buttock forward, turn the left chest up. Then we'll come up. Now as we come up, narrow your stance first, and you can put your two hands on the bolster as you step your leg out. And let's move our bricks to the other side. They're sitting outside the leg of the chair. Then when you set your left leg, you bring your left foot to the wall and have the leg close to the edge of the handle. Long stride back. Use the majority of your mat. Pressurize the outer right foot down and make sure this left thigh is turning out, left buttock, outer hip rolling down. Then you can reach out to the wall. Perhaps this is it for you. If you can go further though, you bend the elbow and bring your forearm to the bolster. Now remember, we're trying to keep this waist long. So make sure the pelvis is tilting and that you're not stuck here with the pelvis staying out of the tilt and your waist shortening. Can you take the right side of the pelvis as if it's wanting to tilt over the left side of the pelvis? Then perhaps you can reach your hand down to your bricks. This buttock squeezes forward, left buttock forward, right thigh back. Top arm up. Turn the right chest. Stretch the arm, look up. And then we come out of the pose. Narrow the stance. 2 hands on the bolster. Step the left leg out from the pose. Now this next variation is more the classic presentation of the pose. We're going to use a couple of bricks and we're also going to use the wall. We need to be fairly close to the wall so that when we take our leg up and out, we can access the wall with the ball of the foot, and that may help us with the stretch of the leg but also with our balance. We place our bricks flat. The distance between the wall and your bricks is going to be dependent on the length of your torso, your head, your leg, and that's something that you'll just have to navigate. But you'll step your right foot between the bricks, stride left leg back and come into Parsvakonasna with the arm coming forward in front of the leg like we did earlier. Now again, it's trial and error as to whether you're close enough to the wall or too far away from the wall. But with these 2 bricks, we want to bring this arm back, bend your elbow, bring your shoulder inside the leg and take your hand to the brick behind you, behind the foot. Then you might need to put your left hand on your brick, pick the right foot up and bring it onto the brick in front of you. This is the beginning stage. This elbow can be bent so that you're creating a platform for the thigh to rest on. Suck the outer left foot into the wall and then perhaps you can straighten this leg and press the ball of the foot into the wall. Now the leg might not straighten all the way and again, depends on how close you are to the wall, but you work towards, the balance can be precarious, but use that wall, work towards straightening. Top arm up. And maybe you can work towards straightening the bottom arm as well. Squeeze the right buttock forward. And then we come down slowly. Bring your foot down and come out of the pose. And let's try the other side. Now, of course, manipulating where those bricks are, where you are relative to the wall is important. So if you need to change anything, do that. Left foot between the bricks, stride back, bend the left knee, bring your left arm down in front of the leg. Parsvakonasna to start. Then bend the elbow, bring your body down alongside the thigh, bring your shoulder inside the knee and place your hand onto the brick behind the foot. This right hand can come onto the floor or the brick in front of you, but you've bent the elbow to create a platform for the thigh. Then pick the left foot up and bring it onto the brick in front of you. And maybe this is it for you. Maybe you're just exploring that idea of weight bearing through the left arm. You can keep that left elbow bent so the platform of the upper arm is supporting the thigh. But if you want to try and go further, you press out the ball of the foot and you reach your foot to the wall in an effort to straighten the leg. It may not straighten all the way. And maybe you can work towards straightening the arm as well. Sometimes the leg will slip off if you straighten the arm all the way, so maybe you keep it a little bit bent. But can you squeeze the left buttock forward, press the right thigh back, take the right arm up, turn the right chest up. Then we can come down. You can reach your right hand down, step left foot down, and come out of the pose. It's very strenuous, so let's do Uttanasana to have a rest. We'll lean the buttocks into the wall and take your feet forward, at least your foot's length away from the wall. Maybe you like to have your bricks under your hands initially, get the length on the front body, or perhaps you're feeling stiff and That's a good position for your back. But if you can go further, then by all means, bend the elbows, catch the elbows, fold forward and down. Then consciously slow your breath down. Then as you're ready, you can slowly raise the head up and come to stand all the way up. The arm balances can be very challenging, and it's really good to have a playful approach, or at least a detached approach, where there's an attitude of giving it a go, but letting go of the outcome. And you find that what wasn't achievable once upon a time eventually does become achievable if you really apply yourself and continue to practice. And even just practicing the standing poses in a regular and dedicated way will help you to access some of these stronger, more challenging poses, such as these arm balances. If you enjoy practicing with me, I invite you to check out the video library on my website, heatherkitchenyoga.com.au. There are over 460 full-length classes in that library. I invite you to start your subscription with a 7-day free trial. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me. For more in-depth teaching, check out the video library on my website, heatherkitchenyoga.com.au. The link is in the description box below.